for us to become a servant of the servant. A servant. That's one thing I like about this theater I was telling you about a while ago. They teach the kids from the time they're walking and talking how to be a servant. Little beautiful little 4-year-old girl serving me tea. And it's a beautiful sight to behold. And listen, this country would be in a lot better shape now if most of our children had been taught that. If most of our kids had been taught to be a servant to others, this country would already be light years ahead in better shape than what it is now. Number of things that we've dropped the ball on as parents, as grandparents, as the church. We dropped the ball on a number of things, and that's one of them. It's not teaching our kids to have a servant's heart and servant's ethic. You know why? Do you know why it's so difficult to maintain people in most small churches, to retain them in most small churches, and even some of the mega churches are beginning to have some of these problems as well. Not on the scale that smaller churches are. You know why? Because our kids have not been raised to be servants, they've been raised to have a consumer mentality. And they come to a church and they're looking for this ministry and looking for that ministry, not realizing when they come, first of all, that may be why God sent you here. If that church you're visiting doesn't have that particular ministry, maybe you need to pray. Maybe that's why God sent you here. But because they don't have a servant's heart, they have a consumer's mentality, that doesn't take place. There are more people on this ball of dirt that we call earth. There are more people who are walking in disobedience to the Lord than what there are who walk in obedience. Many, many, many more walking in disobedience to the Lord and to His calling and all these things. They're walking in disobedience because, number one, maybe not number one, but somewhere in the mix, very close to number one, they've not been raised to have a servant's heart. They want to be served. The consumer mentality. Well, what can I get? What can this church give me? What can this church offer me? What can I get out of going to church? What can my kids get out of going to this church? You realize in Jesus' day they want no such thing as children's church? Now, I'm not knocking children's church per se. It's good. If you're being able to have one, great, wonderful. We have one in Chirala Family Worship Center, still do. And all that's great and wonderful. But how many of you understand and realize that we should still be able to worship God whether we have a children's church or not? Whether we have a 60-piece orchestra or a praise band, or we do it like we do with tracks and guitar. And some don't even have that. Some have no music. We should still be able to worship God regardless of what we may have at our disposal, but people have to learn, you have to teach, and they have to learn, you've got to have a servant's heart. That's what God honors, is a servant's heart. To serve people, to serve your community, to be here as a service to your community, and offer them services and let them know you're concerned about them and you want to help them if you possibly can. And listen, that's what this blessing box is all about. This blessing box is being used, being utilized. It's not our job to police who uses that blessing box. That ain't what it's there for. I don't have time to police it. Now, if you want to, you feel free, but I think you'll be wasting your time. But I think it's being utilized for the most part, people who need it. And, kids come over here. The mom from across the street sends them sometime. Other kids from down the street come sometime. I came out one night a week or so ago. Bonnie and I were over here. We were going over some songs. And it was 9 o'clock or after, it was dark. Bonnie had already gone home. I was shutting things down. I come out front door. There's a young man standing there getting something out of the blessing box. And I said, asked him how he's doing. And he said, good. I said, well, help yourself. I said, is there anything in there? Because we're really having trouble keeping it stocked. It's empty quicker than what we're stocking. And thank God for those who are donating. We want you to continue to donate. Some of you may not donate in a while. We want you to get that back into swing again and start donating. He was out there, and I said, help yourself, whatever's in there. And he said, all he wanted was a box of rice. That's all he got. Young man that had dreads and all this stuff, but he said, I don't need anything but rice. I said, I saw this box of rice in here. I'd like to have you. I said, you help yourself. There's some canned goods and other stuff in there he could have gotten. He said, all I need is rice. I'll be good. And so, you know, it's there so the community knows there's somebody that has some kind of concern about helping to meet their needs where they possibly don't have the means to meet those particular needs. And so that's just one thing that we do, that we can do. There's other things as well. And even as a small church, we need to have and maintain a servant's heart. And so it means spend so much time there. Got to move on. We need to be a servant of the servant. And we've